Hello, everybody on YouTube. It's me, Turtle Strike. It's our first ever patch rundown, and especially as well for the first patch of season 13 of League of Legends, starting exactly tomorrow, January the 11th. I'm excited for the season. They're doing a lot of really cool changes that they teased, so I'm hoping to see some of those stick going as we go and view the patch. Couple thoughts on preseason so far. It's been rather uneventful. We had the really toxic part at the beginning with Ravenous Hydra literally just taking over the meta. I think it's in a healthy spot now that it's usable but not like as absurd. It has definitely helped a lot of champions be able to be relevant in the current meta that they weren't able to do so in the past, especially on the pro side and probably the 5v5 side. Champs that probably couldn't go and survive in the current scene are probably going to be able to now because of that change. Solo queue, though, I think has been a nightmare. Assassins have been taking over a lot of snowballing games, or super snowball right now, I think more so than before. So hopefully maybe that can get addressed a bit, maybe help out a couple champions. I think the patch is going to be good. There's one champ I'm worried about. If what they tease does happen, I'm very concerned about one champion. So stick around until then so you can figure out what champ I'm personally that will take over, I think, the entire board. Like competitive, high MMR or low MMR. This champion, I think, will literally take over the entire thing. It's going to be Aatrox like version 2, I think. That's what I've been saying for like the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to see if that change is still in here. So, looking at nerfs and buffs, I think they actually did a very good job with the nerfs and buffs, just looking at them, because I think a lot of these champions have been problematic for a while and that's just like before preseason, but also in preseason just got better. Like, I think a lot of the champions flat out just got better beforehand. I don't think Mundo was that problematic of a champion before, and I don't think Asante pre new tank mythics was that powerful. But I think once they got access to those, they became very absurd and strong champions. And I'm glad to see Ramus is adjusted, because before he was just getting a flat out nerf. And we got the skins. Okay. So, oh yeah. On this one is the Midscope update for Jax. Now, I don't really know too much about Jax. I know like he was very much as a counter pick, very useful at Worlds. He was used as a counter pick for Aatrox, Fiora. He's always been a Camille one, and he was like, I thought he was in a state that you would want Jax to stay in, because I don't think you want Jax to be the best champion inside of a meta. You want him to be that counter champ, and that champion that you pick on R5, you pick on R4, that you see the enemy top lane, you're like, yeah, I want Jax into this team comp. That's the type of champion I think Jax should be and where he should stay. So hopefully that keeps him in that range. Okay, going over to the first bit, Leap Strike is going to lose this AP ratio, and so he's just not going to have any more AP on it. And I think other than that, it's unchanged. Or did it lose the physical damage part? Okay, let's read this. Midscope update, all abilities adjusted. Jack's Midscope update is on the smaller side compared to our previous ones. Overall, we like his simpler gameplay and kit, but we felt like there was room to make his ultimate ability more interesting. True. Additionally, we have shifted his AP ratios around to buff up his burstier AP play style that's seen play in the past. All of said, unfortunately, Jax still does not have a real weapon. So they want to increase his AP style, but they're going to remove... Okay, let's just see the entire change first. Okay, Counter-Strike. Minimum damage is up by 20 at max rank. And now it does max health, max HP of the target as magic damage, and then plus 100 AP. Oh, okay, so they're going to shift it into here. Okay. Bonus damage per attack dodge, 20% of the total damage, 20% of base damage. I like this, actually. Wait, do I like that? Bonus damage of total. So how much damage he took to 20% of the base damage. So it's just the base damage of this. So it's going to definitely do less when there's less auto attackers in. Cooldown of his ultimate. This doesn't really... This, like, matters very nichely, because you're able to dive him or punish him like 20 seconds, like a wave earlier. So you have more like a wave window to punish the Jax. But beforehand, for like as the Jax player, this doesn't really change anything, because now you just have to wait an extra wave to be able to actually like go in. Third hit passive, bonus magic damage. It's going to go down and 10% down. Imagine if I had a real animation. Jack's R passive is now has update animation, sound, and visual effects. New active. Jack swings his lantern around him, dealing 150, 250, 350 magic damage to nearby enemy. If he hits a champion, he gains bonus armor, base and bonus AD, plus 15 to 25% plus 10 per champion hit. Wait, if he hits a champion, he gains armor plus. So like, is this additive on? As well as 60% of that value is magic resist for the next 8 seconds. During this time, the passive damage applied is every second attack instead of every third. So his ult is okay. So his ult's a lot more impactful. And so his W is unchanged. I'm pretty sure his W is where his like AP ratio is at. I don't know if this makes him go Natural Tooth anymore. I can't imagine it will, because I don't see why you would ever want to give up Blade. Because it just helps you stick better and helps you better in that 1v1, and that's when Jax is trying to focus. I don't think this is gonna change Jax much. Maybe he might become a slightly better team fighter because of this, because it's like, so if he hits a champion, okay, so he activates, he swings his lantern, does this, and then if he hits a champion, he gets this plus. Oh, okay. So his team fight with his ultimate is gonna be a lot better, because like if you go in, oh, okay, I see where the burst of AP could come in, because you go in, jump in with counter strike, stun the team, ultimate, swing the team, you get a bunch of bonus stats. Okay. I'm gonna have to see how this plays out, but I kind of like this, because this gives him like a sight for ult, and I think it does, like, what it does makes his ult feel more powerful and feels more like an ultimate ability rather than just giving flat stats. Now, to get the flat stats, he actually has to actively do something. He can't just like pop R before a tower dive and get the stats, because he has to hit a champion to get these, and he gets more the more he hits. Okay, I actually like this change to his Grandmaster's Might. I don't know how this, because it looks like if you're going to go this AP build, you're probably going to go like WE max. So like, and I'm pretty sure with that AP build, I think our Leaf Strike was very important with it. But no, I actually like the change. Okay, Aatrox, the problematic champion. Aatrox has been bringing death to the top lane for a while now, and with preseason shipped and the new season kicking off, now is a great time to address his strong presence on top lane. We're tapping down his damages, healing, and move speed, which should help bring the Darkin more in line with other top laners. Bonus % max health damage. Okay, like that. Reducing that, because that auto does so much. 2%. It's not that big of a nerf, but it's sizable. Passive increase healing during World Ender. Okay, this is big, because this is his second max ability. So when he gets to that late game, he is losing 8% off his World Ender. And I'm assuming this when it says World Ender, it's talking about when he is in like his passive. So like, I'm assuming this number's RA doubled, because if it's not RA doubled, then it's 16% instead of 8. But I'm assuming it's RA doubled, because it's specifically talking about during World Ender, which I like, because his healing was absurd off of this. And bonus move speed, basically he's losing like tier 2 boots, which this isn't that major. I think this is probably the biggest part about this nerf. I'm gonna have to actually see, because if this is 8%, then it's a lot, but if it's 16%, that's so much more. All right. Let's go to Mundo. Since the changes in last patch, because that mid-patch update has been going places where he's pleased. I think this just tones him down a bit. I don't think it's really changed. I think this is way much better. This change is way more punishing for top Mundo than jungle. Because obviously jungle, you don't really care about your base HP too much, just because you're not really using it as like a trading pattern. This shouldn't affect his clear speed or anything like that. So it was RA, his change from before, and the mid-scope update was a lot more of like a change with Mundo. I think it definitely toned him down. I think he's in a lot more bearable state. I think people might have overreacted, because when everybody was playing tanks and going Heartsteel, I think that like exaggerated how strong Mundo actually was. I do think he did get a lot of help in this preseason because Heartsteel is such a good item, especially new Frostfire too. Just are such good items on Mundo that I think was the biggest change for him with the preseason tank items. He very much was a tank that benefited from them. Some you could argue like lost a lot because a lot really like Sunfire, but he very much liked these new tank mythics. I think the mids patch was a way more of a nerf to actually what made him very strong. This is just a little extra bonus, and it shouldn't really affect him too much. Inside the jungle. Inside of top lane, this extra 40 HP does matter a lot with Mundo self-harming himself inside the game. Since the durability in tank updates, our premier anti-tank skirmisher has been eating too well. Her bonus 80 hunger kit has better options against all foes with Ravenous Hydra, which is true. As the stars have aligned for Fiora's success, we have tapped down her AD scaling, both her anti-tank and generic damage. Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. Maximum health damage is going from 0.5 to 100, so at like her problem stages, this is 1% off because when she gets like Hyper Late Game, she gets a 300, so it's 1.5% bonus max health true damage knocked off per vital. I don't really think that is that major. Well, I mean, when you're doing a 4 vital stack like that, like those like what the Chinese Fioras and that when they do that thing, it's obviously a lot because that's literally 6% max health true damage that you're losing. But I don't really think it should change much. It should just like tone her down a little bit. I think it does a lot more of the generic damage. It hits more than it does for tanks because she's still going to roll tanks. Physical damage on her lunge is bonus AD is down by 5%. I don't think this changes Fiora much. I think maybe this makes people who aren't as good at Fiora have, obviously, they won't perform as well. But if you're a good Fiora player and if you are a Fiora player, this isn't going to change anything. She's still going to be absurdly strong. And she is going to be the queen of top lane, like how she's been for a while now. But one of her main champions, Jace, is also getting buffed. And if I remember correctly, Jace was always one of those champions that was very able to abuse Fiora early, obviously because of the range difference, and was able to kind of deal with her late game because he was able to clear the waves without interacting. So let's see what they did with Jace. Base attack damage up by 3. Okay, that's actually a lot for Jace. Like, he's autoing the enemy. Like, melee range, he's autoing the enemy a lot in these matchups. So that's going to be like, that's going to be a sizable amount, actually. Base damage is going to go up by 5 to 30. And this is his first first max ranked ability. This is going to be a lot. And the damage per second is just up by 10 on his lightning form. And was it up like 3 seconds? So it's like 30 damage just flat. I think this is toned down than what they originally. That's why I waited until now because I wanted to see the official patch notes because I'm pretty sure they had another change in here regarding Jace that made him a little bit stronger than this. But I think these are definitely changes Jace once because he has been. Let's see, he's been keeping his distance recently. Yeah, it's just so much. Yeah, weaker hammer form. Yeah. These are good changes to Jace. I think this definitely helps him out and. Jace is a top laner that I think is, when he's in a good state, is healthy for the state of top lane because he's able to deal with a lot of those bruisers early on and transfer his leads to other lanes. So, and he's like a ranged top laner, so you could have like for ranged thematic and poke comps, you can slide Jace in here. I want to know how this affects his wave clear because if it makes it faster, it also is a good buff to Jace mid. Because if Jace mid's able to unlock a lane a lot quicker because he's able to just get in there, one tap the wave and get out. Because he always had that time that he always had like a little awkward period that he had to let his W tick a little bit. But with his Q, with the Q change with the auto, I think this might also impact Jace mid. But we honestly have to see. All right, K'Sante. This champ's so absurd. A tank with 1,000,000 dashes does too much damage. As players have become more comfortable and skilled on K'Sante, started to become very strong, true, which is par course. However, combined with his last buffs, this pushed him a little too far in high skill brackets of play. We're bringing his power down a notch before he starts becoming particularly problematic. Okay, listen, if you watch the Masia Cup at all, you already saw how absurdly strong K'Sante was in the plans of, like they're saying, high skill bracket players. he was absurd. I thought he was like I thought he was the best top laner. He beat Fiora's main counter, and he absolutely rolled Fiora in most matchups. If it was a K'Sante player that knew what to do. So let's see. Base move speed nerfs. This is it's okay. I mean, it's not that big. They do this like again, obviously. Base passive Dauntless Instinct. This is a lot of damage missed out. I think this is actually probably the best place to hit his base damages, not his scaling, because base damages are what pushes tanks. Unless their scaling is like absurd. Okay, so like this is a lot of damage because he literally is Q passive, Q passive, Q passive, W passive. Like he's hitting you with passive like 10, 15 times. Sometimes, especially if you're like tank v tank against K'Sante, he is hitting you with his passive so much. It's a lot of damage missing. I like this. And this has been, I think, his most problematic ability is his W, because it's immune and the amount of damage it outputs. So the minimum physical damage is down by 2.25 of the target's maximum health. At max rank, it's just 2.25 total, and when it's max physical damage, it's down by 1.25. Okay. Good changes. I don't think this is going to make him too much weaker. I think it's definitely going to let his counters be able to exploit him a lot more than they were able to in the past because of him just having less damage. Overall, I like K'Sante. I think he's a really good addition they added to the roster. I just thought he got very overtuned with the new... Because, like, Jaxo is, like, literally... If the Jaxo buffs did stay on this patch, and I did see it at the adjusted, we have to see what that changed. K'Sante might still just be a super absurdly OP. Let's see. Lissandra, Q slow, and W cooldown. I mean, this is nice. This isn't what's gatekeeping Lissandra. Lissandra's like Jax. She's a counterpick champion. She's very good when the meta is revolved around stuff like Ahri, LeBlanc, those type of mid laners that you want to lock down and you want to force in. So she was very good back in Midsummer, where Ahri and LeBlanc even further back in that. When they became very prominent is when she was very strong. The more ranged champions that get added, the harder it is for her to play because she does get outranged very easily. I don't think this is what was gatekeeping Lissandra for play, and it should help a little bit, but I don't think it's going to change too much. Rammus. What did they do to my little armadillo? Like Moo Moo and the Jungle Companions, Rammus found a new friend in preseason by the name of Jaxo the Protein. Yep. The currently synergy between Rammus W and Jaxo, yep, it has been adjusted to more cleanly interact with one each other, but this should be rough neutral. That said, Rammus is a bit too strong right now, so we're backing in all small nerfs to his overall durability. Base AD down by 3, health down by 20. This doesn't really matter. This shouldn't affect his clear speed or change anything. Flat armor, 15% armor is up. Up early, same at max rank. And I think because of Jaxo, people might have been maxing W, but if they're still maxing E, I would say this is just a buff, because you don't really care about this flat armor, because if you're getting... Oh, sorry. Misread it. It's down by 20%. Oh, okay. Okay, math. Flat resistance granted by Rammus's W are now also amplified by the percent resist that are granted by W. Oh, okay. So before, this 40 wasn't getting amped by this, but this 25 is going to get ramped. I don't think this is going to affect Rammus. I think this maybe affects him getting played in every single game. But in the games that you should be playing Rammus and people counterpick Rammus because of a lot of AD and a lot of auto attackers, I think Rammus is still going to be... I think he's underrated right now for sure, but I don't think this should affect him too much. Shaco Deceive. I haven't seen much of Shaco in preseason, so I don't really know too much of how this is going to be. Mana cost, 60 to 40. Backstab, critical strike chance is up by 10. W, 2-shift poison. Is this okay? It's W's the box. So his box damage scales more with AD. Magic damage to targets below 30% is up by... I mean, this is gonna help Shaco. I was seeing Chase Shaco and other people talk on Twitter that they're like, make the Q or make his backstab no longer magic damage, because it felt weird that when you go these like the Thaudy centric builds, when it does magic damage, the Thaudy like doesn't proc on it. So they were saying to make it do something, I think a bigger change for Shaco that would be really good for his mixed style of builds he was doing that I heard other people talking about was make it an adaptive scaling. So if you go AP, The backstab does magic damage. If you go AD, it does attack damage. So you're able to synergize better with your items. I don't think this should impact him very much. He's still just going to be Shaco and solo queue. I don't think this is going to bring him into competitive at all. Yeah. Sion. Base AD or base health up by 40, which is a lot, and his base damage is just up by 20. Just literally, at fully charged, it's up by 20. I don't think that changes. I mean, this is going to help him for sure. I want to know how this affects his wave clear numbers. Like, if this 20 damage actually makes it so you will just fully one-shot at certain points that you weren't able to do before. That's what I think matters more than fully charged on champions. Because most of the time, you weren't able to get fully charged off on champions. When you're fully charging, it was to shove a wave and to, like, clear minions. So I want to know how much that changes, if it changes that type of style. And I think Sion's good. I think he has a place, especially with the new tank items. The tank items are really good. That's what I want to know. I really like the changes they did to those. That being said, okay, let's go to Twisted Fate. It's been a long time since our last buff. TF has been lucky enough to be drawn in solo queue or pro play. We're giving him a little bit more. Cooldown. It's going down by 1 second. I mean, he's casting this off cooldown, so like it's nice. He might be able to get like one more in extended fights, maybe. But like, this is something you have to remember with buffs like this. Especially like this Lissandra buff up here. Does this equate to more Qs being thrown out in a team fight or in a side of a rotation? Like, if this allows him to get one more Q in a fight that he wasn't be able to get before, it's a massive buff. If he's able to get another Q off that previously was unattainable because like currently it's going to take him to throw 5 Qs to be able to get that 6th one. So if he's able to get to that 6th one, then in most fights this is a very good buff because he's able to get that 6, he gets more damage off, yada yada. But if this was gatekeeping him, or even that 5th one, he gets it out faster, then yeah, it's a good buff. But if he, in a fight were to occur, I feel like he only gets 3 off. Because in CF, you're trying to port onto someone, gold card them, look for a one-shot. So I would like to see more damage got added to it, so his wave clear was better early, so he's able to actually roam more efficiently and really take over the map with his ultimate. I don't know if the Q would do that much. Let's look at the pick a card. Blue card magic damage goes up by 25% on the ratio for blue card, and red card is going to be up by 10. I'm curious if this affects his wave clear with like the WQ and pushing waves, because if it does, it's really good buff. I really like this, so it doesn't feel as bad to blue card now, but the problem is TF, because normally his build is he's going like Everfrost into Zhonya's into like rapid fire cannon. He's not getting those high AP numbers. Like in the past or other champions, when they're getting to like 300 AP, a 25% AP ratio increase is huge because that's 75 damage. But when you're a champ like TF, like sometimes he doesn't even get to 200, let alone 300, unless he can get to a death cap spike. And normally TFs don't get to that item spike. This isn't as strong. Maybe a AP version of TF that is like Ludens or Everfrost into like more higher AP items becomes more of a build. This will be more of a buff because have 25% more increased AP. The more AP you have, the more damage, obviously. So I'm really curious if this changes any TF builds, or maybe it changes how he plays. Maybe it goes back to his past self when he was just ult behind, you card some like a backliner, one shot them, kite away, something like that. I'm curious to see how this maybe might change builds or change how he gets approached. Just base stat, attack speed, it's just nice. Yuumi, okay, she's been problematic. Yuumi is still a terrorizer, high skill brackets play. Yep. Base damage down by 50 at max rank, and then 50 in power as well. This is I think, okay, so when you're looking at this, yes, you see 50 is a lot of damage taken off at or I guess rank 6 because of how Yuumi works. But I think the important numbers to note with a nerf like this are these two, because this is where her Q damage is going to be impressive, because you're still going to be inside of laning phase. Here, obviously, 50 damage being lost when she's doing 3 Qs, that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm not saying to discount it. But to her oppressiveness that comes from being in lane, these are the two numbers to note. getting importance out of. And she's still losing like 60 damage if she's firing off 3 Qs. If she's getting that fourth, it's 80. Especially if it's empowered too. So overall, good nerf. I like that this is how they're hitting Yuumi and not her heal or her ultimate anymore or her W. I think her Q is the most problematic part about her. And I think other people that lane against her would say, obviously, the fact she sticks on top of each other, but the fact that she can literally throw out a 310 damage Q by just sitting on top of someone. It's auto-targeted basically because you control it. I do like this is the direction they're heading to nerf Q. We still have to see what they're going to do because she is decided to get an update because they wanted to change how she plays. Zeri. Zeri has been very problematic. Zeri rework has succeeded in shifting her to a new and healthier play pattern, but she's been a bit strong in high brackets of play since her changes in 12.23. Her shorter range brought in many new avenues of counterplay early in the game, which was one of our major goals, but she is still a bit too consistent of a DPS threat at her 3-item power spike. As follow-up to her changes the last patch, we're toning her down, scaling a bit, and hitting her favorite cat, so Zeri's a bit less scary regime. I was going to say, that is an important thing to know. I have not seen much of Zeri in my games, and when I do, it's usually paired with Yuumi, so it was like just the Yuumi-Zeri combo that made her so strong, like, pre-Worlds. Like LPL playoffs and all that. That's what the Zeri was. It felt like, again, felt like she was just a Zeri Yuumi thing where you just traded Zeri Sivir. Kind of felt more like that was her style. You just trade Yuumi Zeri, or Sivir Zeri, take that. Yuumi Zeri was a lot of the pairings I saw. So obviously both getting hit. She's losing 4 damage on her Q at max rank. I think good nerf. I'm glad that they're toning it very slowly. I think this should definitely hurt her a little bit because you were queuing so often. But it's still going to make her that she's still going to be scary late game fights. If she gets put behind early, she's very hard to get back into the game with if you don't have something like a Yuumi on her. But overall, good change. Okay, items. Let's see. Items. Before we get started, I did read the thing. I hope they adjust AP items and assassin items because all the assassins are just building Bruiser with Hydra because assassin items are underwhelming and it's just better to have more survivability and more damage that way through the AD. So hopefully do help those items out. Maybe tone back other ones. That's what I'm hoping to see from the items. Axiom Arc, literally only being built in solo queue, so I guess this helps out in solo queue. I don't see why you would build out Axiom Arc in competitive or 5v5. Youmuu's is just better. Being good buff for solo queue. Horizon Focus. This has received too much attention outside of a few artillery mages. It's not even great on them, true. With enough AP power to now match Shadow Flame, maybe you'll be tell the shopkeeper. Right. Yeah, I like this. I'm gonna have to do some testing, see if, because Shadow Flame gives a lot of magic pen. That is, it wasn't really that, it just wasn't the damage gained from Horizon Focus, like through like the percent increase, it just didn't keep up with Shadow Flame because it had more AP. And the magic pen was a lot more beneficial. So I'm curious to see how this does change those numbers. Having less, because you still have to compete with Shadow Flame's magic pen. So it's definitely some testing. I'm excited to test out AP items because that's always the fun part. Jak'Sho, increased by 100 gold. Nice. Voidborn, resilience per 2 per sack plus 15 total resistances at max stat. To 2% plus 20% bonus resistance. Okay, so this, yes, if you look at this, like, isn't this just better on tanks? That was the whole point of this change, because there's so many bruisers. Like, how many times did you see, like, an Irelia or, like, Fiora or Aatrox just build Jak'Sho, the second item? Because, it's because of this part right here, because of the total resistances. So their base resistances plus Jak'Sho was just enough to give them super insane value. So I like this change. And I also like this because, bro, you don't notice this heal. This heal doesn't exist. The literal only important part about this item was this part. This was the only... This was non-existent. And the fact that now it scales with bonus HP, it's even better on tanks, and it forces... a lot of value is shifted out of it. Overall, like the change to this, it will no longer affect minions and monsters. Okay, I didn't know it affected minions and monsters because... You never noticed this part. Bro, I don't think I've ever seen a Jak'Sho heal more than like 1,000. So like, I don't know. I like this change. Good change. Because normally by the time Jak'Sho's procced, you're only within a range of 2 people. So good change. I like it. Hopefully I don't see it on any bruisers ever again. Okay, Rod of Aegis. Okay, let me explain the issue with Rod when they reintroduced it in the game. First of all, Rod is 200 more gold than it was originally, and a benefit of Rod in the past was it gave a safe scaling option to give you more resistances and just survivability paired with old Seraphs that also gave you that shield. An important thing to note, Seraphs doesn't have the shield anymore, people are less tanky, just out of natural stats. A really big portion that people aren't remembering is you were still able to go items like Liandry's afterwards in older seasons. So building a Roa didn't hamper your later game damage because you still have access to Liandry's, you still have access to Ludens and all the other very powerful and damage heavy AP items. You just traded off early mid game for having a stronger late game. That was the whole point of Roa. And in the current state of how it was, with how Seraphs was, it just was. I thought besides Kassadin for the level and because it's Rise, which also, first of all, I don't know why people would build this on Rise, because if you're going for the mana, oh, the HP is nice. The 500 HP or the 500 HP is really nice on Rise. I can discredit that, and but you get more mana from other items. So that's not why you're building. You're building this because of the health and because of the heal and conversion, because you get higher mana from other items. So, all right, let's see how they ended up tweaking it. Yeah, still big weave after it's cost buffed. I still think it might need to just be a 2,600 gold item. I think 11 minutes. Like the average Roa is like 10 minutes, and before in the past it was like 9. Like you would always get between 8 and 10, the latest 11, and now it's like 9 to 11, the latest 12. And it's just too slow for like the current balance of the game when you could just get like a Liandry's or a Ludens or an Everfrost and have that instant impact, be able to impact the map early, and that's how solo queue is right now. It's early impact focus. There should be some small buffs to this patch aimed at the item's immediate power spike. Yep, okay. As a stack tick will also make move speed more noticeable and effective. Yeah, so I'm gonna be real. I didn't know it gave movement speed. I never felt the movement speed. I didn't even know that was a thing. So good they make it a little bit more noticeable. So health just up by 100. Okay, that's nice. Eternity move speed proc requirement 250, healing or mana restoration 200. Oh, that's why I never felt. Oh, okay. Move speed gained from eternity now decays more slowly. Okay. I'm gonna have to test this more. Eternium just making it worse early, and okay. That's fine. And bug fixes. Alright. This is probably the biggest change on the patch if they kept it how they teased it. This is the biggest change on the patch for all mid lane mages. Okay, let's see what they do. While functional, the current version of Seraph's Embrace hasn't been hitting the mark in terms of excitement and impact. True. With Roa and Catalyst's return, the healing effect has now become redundant. True. We tested a few iterations of items in preseason that didn't feel quite right, leading to changes being delayed. So we're excited to have reached a version we're more confident in for live. We're shifting Archangels back towards a high AP scaling item with a defensive option to help mages have a little bit more room for error in the late game. Okay. This is what this item was missing. I hated the haste. The entire season, I would hate building the item. It literally made Orianna irrelevant. And it harmed every champion but Rise. And like Kassadin. Even Kassadin harmed because Kassadin won higher AP numbers. Literally, this item sucked. Okay, sorry. It was good for Seraphine, Sona, and Rise. Were like the only 3 champions. And it was only good on Rise because it's Archangels. It wasn't because of the passive. It wasn't because of that. And the fact is they had to keep lowering the cost of the item because it just was not effective at the price. Okay, so let's go. Total cost, 3,000. Okay, that's fine. AP is up from 60 to 80. And it gains 10 haste now. Passive, grants abilities equals to 0.5% of your bonus mana. Grants AP equivalent to 1% of your bonus mana. This is why I wanted to wait. Because... Oh, this is the 2.5. Never mind. Scratch what I was about to say. Has been removed. Good. Lifeline. Upon taking damage, I reduce your health below 30%. Gain a 250 plus 20% current mana. Okay, I like that. Oh, dude, it's back. Oh, Archangels is back. Battle Mages are back, by the way. So, Rise loves this item. Kassadin loves this item. Orianna loves this. Ziggs, Syndra. Victor, I'm not so sure, but probably even Victor. All the battle mages are just back. They're just stronger. This is so good for the health of like mid lane, especially in solo queue. But this does go back to what I was going to say at the beginning. There is one champion that has been a little problematic after his E change and patch 12.23, and that was Kassadin. Kassadin has been very problematic in solo queue, and especially in a lot of games, he has become a menace. And the one thing that was gatekeeping Kassadin, because right now he spikes at 2 items. He spikes at 2 items, and level 11 is the Kassadin power spike. It's not 16 like it was of old. It's that specific spike. And now, because of Archangel's change, he is now going to be able to get AP numbers he was used to be able to get. Same with Ryze, same with Orianna, same with Ziggs, same with Syndra. Syndra's going to even get better, get higher AP value, because she's going to have so much more AP that 15% bonus is going to, on her passive. It's huge. This is the change I was most excited for when they announced all these item changes, because I was like, if this goes through, battle mages are back, Roa gets better because now you have health and damage from the Seraphs. I love the change. I love it. I'm so happy this is what they went forward with. That being said, I think Kassadin is about to be like the best champion in the game, because he's gotten better early game, and he used to spike at 11, but now he's just going to get better since he's going to have scaling, very well scaling, because he can have so much more raw AP. Another thing to know, a lot of mages have gotten their AP ratios adjusted in the last year because we lost old Seraphs, so those champions with higher AP ratios get better the more AP you have. So I think battle mages are back, and I think it's a very important thing to note. Yeah. I think Kassadin is going to get nerfed next patch, and I think he's probably going to be like the most annoying, especially like this thing. If Orianna's back, if Ziggs is back, if Syndra, all these champions are back, well, Kassadin just wants to be there. He's going to be there. So, yeah, Kassadin definitely is to watch out for. Think he's going to become basically the Aatrox of mid lane. I think he's just going to be absurdly OP. I think Zed and like Kiana might be able to hold him back, but like if you've already picked your mid laner, they're just going to slam a Kassadin on you, and good luck. Winner's Approach, gold down by 100, health up by 50. Just a nice change. Legend Tenacity, 5% to 1.5. So maximum tenacity down by 10%. I like this. I think there's too much tenacity you can get from runes. Merc treads are basically irrelevant because of that. ARAM, you don't really care about that. Competitive. Oh, what are the new competitive? Oh, the rank split. So new ranked rewards as you climb have been added. These are earned through obtaining split points by completing the game like they did before. You earn 10 points for a win and 6 for a loss. The ranked skins for split 1 is earned by all players of all ranks. I like this. Kind of don't. It's whatever. But the amount of split points required varies. Oh. So this one's like you have to win 8. Holy shit. That's 160 wins for silver and below in a split. Okay, I like that. If someone hard spams out ranked and they win 160 games, or they get this point, they can have the skin. They can have it. Once you earn the skin, it remains earned even if you were to demote. The skin will be distributed at the end of Season 2023, Split 1. Promotion series have been reduced from a best of 5 to a best... Oh! Huh. You only have to win 3 now? I don't know how I like this. I don't like this. I think it should be 5 still. Like, you're going up from, like, plat to diamond. It should be 5. Masters, like, D1 to Masters, I think it should be 5. I think this should be 5. The restriction on duo is ranked solo duo with an MMR... Wait. The restriction of duoing in ranked solo duo with MMR of Masters or above is disabled until 13.3. Note that the duo restriction based on visible ranks are still active. So a player who reaches Master or above will no... Never. This fucking doesn't matter. This only matters for smurfing. Visible rank is no longer used as a matchmaking criteria, only MMR. This was implemented in patch 12.23. Wait, so did Riot just implement this and not tell us? Yeah, wait, Riot just straight up implemented this and didn't tell us. That's awesome. I love that. I love that. And career stats have been reset for the ring season. Okay. I don't think they told us about this. If they did, never mind then, whatever. But they didn't tell us about this, and for the last, like, it says 12.23 came out in, like, November. They've been just doing this. That's awesome. I love that. I actually love that. Refund tokens. It doesn't matter. Mythic content. Okay, I'm so happy. I've been wanting Prestige KDA Ari for literally years. Let's go. Leaving Mythic Shop. Okay, I don't really care about that. Rune Recommender, Champion Select, ARAM. Skins. Oh my gosh. Dude, these skins. Wait, I'm just gonna do this. Oh my god, we're getting so many skins. Okay. Alright, let's look at the skins. I'm not gonna look at what this champion is. I'm just gonna assume I get it right. Because if I can't get it right, that means it's a bad skin. Okay. Let's take a look and go through all the skins. Because this art looks awesome. This art is sick. I'm assuming this is Irelia. Obviously because of the things above her. I couldn't really tell otherwise. But once again, Ari getting a new skin. It is the year of the rabbit for Chinese New Year. So I love all the little details with the little rabbits all around. It's awesome. I love these skins. I don't know. I ever since they did the porcelain one last year, but loved them. All right. I don't know. Like it. Pretty cute. Awesome. Galio. Ooh, I like Irelia's here. Dude. Oh, he looks... I need to see how this looks like in game. This skin looks so sick. Like a traditional like Chinese statue. You have the giant rabbits crashing through the city. This reminds me of something. Oh, what does this remind me of? Oh, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'll figure it out later. Mythmaker. Oh, so Irelia's fighting. Oh, so like Galio's like the big bad in this skin, I guess. And so you have all the people that are like trying to protect, like the Mythmakers. Oh, okay, I see. I'm assuming this is Garen because of the big shoulder pads and the one-handed sword. I would not be able to tell you that otherwise. Kind of bland. They could have done a better shot for him. Doing a little dirty here, making him look like he has like it gets this Dorito shaped like body. Mythmaker Sivir. Ooh, I like the outfit. I really like the skin. It's a cool splash. And Mythmaker Zyra. Oh wow. Huh, I like them. I like the colors on the Mythmaker skins. I think these colors are really nice. Okay, now let's go to Lunar. Lunar Empress Ashe. Who is this? Is this Warwick? This has to be Warwick, right? Because he has the lunar skin. I guess it's nice. I don't like the green and the gold as much as like the red and the white, but that's just me. Oh, it was Kha'Zix. No, wait. Or no, I want this skin. Wait, no shot. That's Kha'Zix? I thought that was Warwick. Yo. Okay, wait, this splash art is sick. Well, why is he hairy? He's a bug. That's bad. I thought that was Warwick. That's not very... Dude, if you were to show me this, like if you were to just cut out this arm part and just show me like this part right here, like you cut out this arm, I think this is Warwick. I would think this is Warwick. This does not look like Kha'Zix. Splash art is sick, but does not. Lunar God Malphite. Ooh, okay. Okay, this is... Ooh, this skin's sick. And like came through this like gate up here. Too bad it's probably gonna look trash in game because they haven't updated. Okay, I see Lunar God Kiana. Okay, she's lucky. Listen, her skins are fire. I hate this champion. Her skin splash arts, all of them are sick. I love her skin splash arts. Other than that, I hate this champion. I hate Kiana. Okay, Lunar God Thresh. Riot really said, okay, this is a true quote. Go look up at LOL, please. They go, the only shirtless champion we are getting this year is Neferi. And that's the dog, first of all. Everyone else is having a shirt on. You have to wait until next year to get abs, and then they're like, you know how much you love your abs, and then they go and do this. They know what they were doing. Porcelain Prestige, Lysandra. I don't know what the old skin looks like, so this is cool. And then Preach Mythmaker. Why the hell? What the fuck is this? What? Why do they put Sivir on the bed like this? Like, wait. Where's her other one? Okay, it was this one. Like, Riot, come on now. They're trying to bait Western audiences, or the Eastern audience, or no, Western, because we're Western, yeah, Western. Come on, Riot, do better. All right. Yeah, well, that's it for my first ever patch rundown. I have no idea how long this was. Hopefully, it is a manageable size and it doesn't go on too long. Skins look sick. Super excited for Seraphs. I think it should shake up the game. I think a lot of champions are going to become a lot more relevant because of that. It should change up dynamics, I think, severely and a lot. I like the nerfs. The buffs are nice. I think this is a really good patch to start the season on, especially with like the tank items shifting the game up a little bit. I very much do enjoy what they did with this patch so far. That being said, if you like what you just saw, I just did this live on Twitch, so if you want to see this a little bit earlier for me, make sure to check out. I will do them when the patch notes drop, because I was waiting for this. I am live on Twitch, twitch.tv/TurtleStrike. And if you did join a little bit later on, it will be going uploaded on YouTube. I'm going to have to learn how to make thumbnails. That's going to be fun. That being said, enjoy your preseason, or not preseason anymore. Enjoy your ranked season climb for season number 13 of League of Legends. I think either last November marked 10 years of me playing League, or it's going to be this upcoming like September. I started playing like 9-10 years ago. So I think like mid-September it's going to mark my 10-year anniversary of League. So this will be my 10th ranked season. And what's the better than mark my 10th year playing this game than hit Masters? If you want to see me hit Masters, make sure to check out me live. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. I will be posting a lot more often on here. And follow me on all my socials. And thank you very much for tuning in for this patch rundown.